Hi, Dougie Burt from Douglas Tackle. Here's Stewie. Stewie, how you going, mate?
Dougie, going good, mate. How are you?
I am really great, mate. We had a fish to go again this week.
We did, mate.
We're going to talk about it a bit later?
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, Stuart, this weekend, it's been, I don't know how many weeks, maybe 6 weekends in a row we've had constant 20 plus knots.
Yep.
And a couple of good days during the week here and there. But this weekend, supposedly, Saturday, offshore, doesn't matter how far out you are, it gets to about 6 knots.
Yep.
And Sunday, it gets up a bit more, gets about 8 or 10. So
it's looking pretty good, Dougie.
It's looking pretty good.
Of course, we've got to say supposedly, because every single week they say it's going to be windy and then it's perfect, or it's going to be perfect and then it's going to be windy.
Then we look like idiots.
I
But
know.
anyhow.
More than normal.
We used to
But anyway, that's
So,
look,
yeah.
keep an eye on the weather. Definitely, Dougie, when's the latest report that you'd check, mate?
About 1 minute ago. I just check windy weather.
No, as in like before you go.
I
Tomorrow,
check.
Arvo,
I
7
check
o'clock.
when I wake up,
Yeah.
decides whether I'm going to put my foot out of bed or not. So I check. I check a few things. I check latest weather observations on the Gold Coast,
Yep.
and then if I'm going to go out wide for the day, I'll check Cape Morton or maybe Byron.
Yep.
And just see what the wind's doing out there. If it looks good, then I'm out of there.
Yep.
Next thing is I check for any storms.
Yep.
Storm activity out at sea early morning. This time of year you get storms in the early morning.
There's actually a big storm out there this morning.
I was there,
Off the
yeah.
pin,
And if you're out 30 k's or 40 k's where the storm is, you'll get squalls up to 20 knots. Even though it's only 2 knots where you are on 36 fathoms, but go a bit further.
Yep.
There'll be squalls, there'll be wet, there'll be windy, it'll be crappy, hard to fish. So I check that too.
Yep.
But if I'm fishing enclosed, it's generally pretty good, as you said.
Yep.
And I'll check the swell size.
Yep.
And the swell saying it's gone from 1 metre to 3 metres overnight, then that foot won't come out of bed.
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
I'll go flatter fishing actually. Sorry. That's why I'm more sunburned.
Change of pace. Yeah.
Change of pace, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. But yeah, so you got to check the weather. Check
Yep.
those 3 things. Check the latest weather observations in Queensland, Gold Coast, Morton, and down at Tweedway or Byron.
Yep.
And then check the swell size and check the radar.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's all good.
Very
So
good.
it looks good this weekend, Stewie.
It does.
And that's a good point to bring up, mate. Well done.
Yep.
Okay, so Stuart, we are going to go this weekend, snapper everywhere. We saw them bag out. I actually got a picture from Cipro off Gavin this morning.
Yes. Yep.
They bagged out this morning, or yesterday morning, in no time.
Yep.
They
And
bagged
then
out on.
bagged out on dolphin fish
Yeah, they
too.
bagged dolphin fish
Yep.
too. So he's the snapper, he's the dolphin fish out wide on the 50 fathom reefs, and they're also on the 36s as well, Stuart.
Yeah.
Yeah, good quality fish. The average size is about 48 to 55. A couple of 60s, a couple of 70 pluses in there.
Yep.
Snapper, remember 170 per person, 1 over 70, sorry,
Is it per person or per boat?
per person, I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 in 4.
Yep.
8 per boat maximum.
Yep.
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
In the snapper.
Yep. 2 or more
Okay.
people.
That's correct.
Yep.
Yep, okay. So give that a crack. There's not much current, I think about 1.2 knots.
Yeah.
So good deep drop in weather this weekend as well. I had a guy in today, he's got a stick bait rod, he's going to chase some yellowfin.
Yes.
Have a look
Yep.
for them. So if you're going in that 300 metre plus, check out the yellowfin, look for anything around. Troll deep divers around too, guys. Troll deep divers as well
Yeah.
while you're looking around. Dropping back a fair way, like about probably 50, 60 metres back behind the boat, do about 8 knots or 7 knots. And the Strata trackers, last year they smashed a few yellowfin out here, they did really well. They got really hard and quality strong hooks on them, so
Yeah.
you don't need, even on an 80-pound tackle, you won't bend, hopefully not.
Yep. And the other thing is, Dougie, they dive really deep, mate. So 8
No.
metres plus. And
That's right, yeah. And the
swim
yellowfin-
true straight out the packet. And
Yeah.
they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, and if you see yellowfin down like 60 metres deep on the sound, these little arches,
Yep.
they'll come up to that lure, no problems at all.
Yep.
Yeah, so give that a go. So we've got snapper outside, we've got dolphin fish outside, out wide, we've got deep water, heaps of flamies and barcod around. Not much current and good water for marlin. Heaps of blue marlin and a few striped marlin around as well. They do change week to week and no one's been out really chasing them much the last few weeks, but they should be there.
They should.
This is the time of year you get them, so.
Yep.
Yep. Then in closer, 24 fathom reef, definitely be trying for snappers too.
Yep.
And if you got the ability to go to 36, maybe get some dolphin fish out if you got a couple of snapper in close, if the weather's that good.
Yep.
The dolphin fish, you'll get those just casting cube pillies, 3.0 hook, as we said last week, 30 pound fluorocarbon or 40 pound fluorocarbon, no sinker. And just cast it 20 metres towards the float, upside of the float, up current of the float,
Yep.
and just drift back with it and leave it in free spool.
Yeah.
Works well. I have caught them actually casting metals too, just like this sort of thing.
Metals
as well.
work really good, and they're a really good option, Dougie, to
Yeah.
like cover a bit more ground.
Yeah,
Yep.
so get a long cast with them, Stu.
Yep.
We got heaps of little stick baits downstairs
Yep.
that work well. in close, I'd be definitely doing the snapper thing with, as we always say,
Yep.
with your
Like octopus style
Yeah,
jig
correct.
type of thing. Yep.
correct, matey. And these are those new ones that got the head that actually flickers. They're called Glowbite.
Yep.
And
So it's a little LED light in there.
Yeah.
It's got little 2 probes hanging out. Once they get
I
wet,
didn't see that.
it
You might be able to see it.
creates a circuit. Probably,
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe.
That's it.
But yeah, they
Sorry.
work really good.
How's it? Anyhow, we got them in the shop.
Yep.
And a whole range, but they're really good. And guys have been buying those up, waiting for the opportunity to get out and use them. Only had them for a week, so
Yeah.
we'll get a reports back this week. But in New Zealand, they are massive in New Zealand. Okay,
Yeah.
they're a New Zealand product. Stu, I'd be definitely with the snapper in, out or in close and out wide. Most of the guys are getting on like float lining, so even 50 fathoms using like a 7 or 8 ball sinker
Yeah.
and running it straight to a set of gangs similar to this type of thing here, or a couple of snelled hooks with sort of 3/4 pilly or a whole pilly.
Whole pilly. Yeah.
Yep, and doing really well, and just letting it go down, go down, and go down, back up a little bit, go down, and it'll just go whambo and take off, and get yourself a good snapper. And the same thing works in close, but the ball sinker goes right down to about fingernail size, about
Yeah.
size 2 or something like that. Keep it small, give it a crack. Another thing too, the pearlies. The pearlies have been biting really well as well, Stuart.
Yep. Added about 110, 115. don't
Yeah,
you?
mate.
Meters?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right, mate. We're in that 100 plus metre. This sort of thing here is really, really good. These are a product. They're 2 dressed hooks per rig. There's 2 rigs in each box. They come in all different sizes. They're rigged on fluorocarbon as well. They just absolutely love these. We got to put a little bit of squid on, a bit of pilly on
Yep.
the circle hook, and they work really well. Give them a go. Other things offshore, spanner crab stew.
Spanner crabs.
I've
mate.
had a few guys been getting out there when the opportunity allows during the week and
Yeah.
getting really big crabs. One of my mate Mark, he got one the other day. It was 1.1 kilo, I think it was.
Big.
Oh yes, quite a solid one.
Yep.
A lot of them that sort of similar size. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really well. So at that 50 metre line, we've got all the spanner crab gear here if you want to buy spanner crab pots and stuff. Anything else offshore? Just obviously just using those little jigs and just mucking around in close on the 18 fathoms. I've been putting the live bait out for cobes as well.
Or a Dewey.
Dewey,
Yep.
yeah, correct, mate.
Yep.
Correct. Give that a go. Okay, we'll go up to jumping pin inshore now.
Yep.
So jumping pin, stood up there. We were up there yesterday.
We were.
Yeah, and last Saturday in a comp.
And
as
last
well.
Saturday. And I was up there today.
Hey,
Where have we been?
You're on holiday.
Might as well just
Stuart's
be on holiday.
Stuart's in here
I am
on his holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had to come in to tell you what he's about to tell you. Right now, so what happens, Stu?
Not really. You begged me to come back because I'm too scared to do it by myself. I need my mate Stewie. So anyway, Dougie, yesterday we weren't mates. We were competitors.
Yeah, we were.
Head to head against each other. Who won?
Yeah, you did, Stuart.
Me! Again, 4 in a row. But I'm back.
That's what I got to put up with.
I am back. But, Dougie,
Yeah.
it was really good.
It was really good stuff.
The first thing we noticed was on the way up, so we left from Paradise Point as per normal. Dougie, heaps of bait, like everywhere.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
lots of fish activity yesterday morning first thing.
Yep.
We fished like last hour of incoming and then the run out till about 12 o'clock. And I think we caught about 26 fish.
That's correct.
Between us,
11
flatties.
o'clock, actually. We're back at 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
some pretty decent size ones in there.
Yeah,
And
75. We've dropped a couple of big ones. We got at least 5 or 6 over 60.
mine was actually 77, not
Oh,
75,
okay.
so robbed 2 centimetres
I
again.
always
but that's
downsize my
okay.
fish. Anyhow, there was a lot of good fish,
yeah.
guys, and it was very hardcore. We were catching them on soft plastics and hard bodies.
Yeah.
The hard bodies we're using, Stu.
Yeah,
you
so
got a couple there as
tackle
well.
housemate, always pretty good. So those ones that you got there, Dougie, and like that type of fella there.
Yep.
And look, don't be afraid to go a little bit smaller. Everyone says you got to throw a big bait, but you don't. Like these little ones here, they're only 125 mil, so 5 inch, and they still catch fish that are undersized, as well as ones that are well oversized. But they work really well.
And what depth are you using those in, Stu?
Oh, look, I cast them so they're dry.
Yeah, okay.
So like right up on top of the bank and work them back. But ideal,
Deepest area?
about a metre.
I mean, I'd say 1.4.
Yeah.
1.5. Anyhow.
Just to be different. But, Dougie,
Dinners, yeah.
this stuff is definitely a bit shallower, so
Yeah.
maybe up to a metre on this.
Yeah.
But they will come up. Like
Yeah.
yesterday we had fish eating the lures at the side of the boat, and they'd come up 2 metres to grab a soft plastic before we ripped it
Yep.
out. So
Yep.
it just goes to show on the day they just bite differently, mate.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, little plastics work pretty well too.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
so
Dougie.
I caught them on S-Tackle yesterday. They did really well in that colour. The white one's really good.
Yep.
The green and whites have been extremely good, guys, this year. Bait junkies are really good.
Yeah.
Jig heads, I'm keeping it small on those little fellows there. I'm using about size, we've got a one quarter or 1/6,
Yep.
depending on the current and the wind.
Yep.
This weekend probably 1/6 would be enough. There's not much wind.
Yep.
Stu, vibes.
Yeah, little
every
vibes,
week.
mate. Been
Yep.
smacking them. Even that little fella there, really good. And Dougie, we caught a few fish trolling yesterday too, but you
We
throw
did.
the little flat shads as
Yeah,
well.
so trolling wise, I'll give those first. This is a bit like you, Stuart. It's actually shake and dance. Well, this is one of the S-tackle ones. Shake and dance. So it's called shake and dance Shab. It should be shake and dance Stewie. And Golden Boy. That's the one. That one right there. Golden Child Stewie. Those two colours are really, really good. They've got a heap of other colours as well. But Stewie, yeah, getting back to these. The Xeric flat shads are legendary, as we all know, and that Fat Betty colour, which is the pink one, has been out of stock forever. We finally got it back in. Absolute killer.
Yeah.
Put a jig head in it though. Switch from the weedless one.
Yeah, so that's that shake and dance. But see, the big thing is as well, we've got pretty clean water, Dougie. Should be pretty sunny.
Yep.
It's contrasting colour. See how you've got that black top, silver sides. When that's flashing, it's going to create a fair bit of disturbance.
Yep.
With it. So,
Yep.
yep.
So heaps of flatties around the jump pin area. Get back to the flatties. I'll be definitely trying around sort of all the shots up the Tipplers area. Give that a crack. We'll talk about the Seaway a bit later, but give that a go. And I still reckon maybe around Jacob's Well channel.
And the mouth there,
yeah, and perhaps Wally's Gutter's been pretty good too, I think. And Tiger Mullet channel. That's good as well. Stu, we're out there, and the tailor were just going off.
They were.
And I was very surprised Stu didn't grab the keys off me and zoom over there in the boat. But they were just absolutely, it was like a tuna school offshore.
It was one of the
there
biggest
was no
tail schools
boats
I've
there.
seen in a long time.
No boats around, and they were big splashes. Now, I'll tell you how big they are. We got a couple of tailor in that comp last weekend, and they weren't 55 to 65 centimetres. They were 2 kilo plus.
Yeah.
And just fishing for flatties as bycatch, and they were really solid fish.
And they were savage.
I haven't seen that big in that was in the like sort of Jacob's Well area, western side of the jumping pin area. Yeah, I haven't seen that big for a long, long time.
They're like 4 to 5 pound though. They're fat, really fat. But Dougie, when those schools are busted up everywhere, metals definitely one of the better
100%.
options, mate.
Yep, little metals.
Or
troll your flatted lures around too.
Troll flathead lures, little plastics work really good as well. You just need to make sure it's made out of that 10x or stretchy material. Otherwise, they just bite too many tails off. So.
I was still going to talk about this too. Guys, I haven't used this yet, and I did try it the other day, and I have to say, and I use S-Factor a lot as well, and S-Factor is still my go-to because I use it all the time. But I tried the Gulp Gel, and I don't know if you guys have tried this yet, but I couldn't tell the difference.
It's a contender.
It's a very good contender. So it's on the Dougie 2 cents now.
2 cents.
2 cents, as in that's about all I'm worth, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But anyway.
So, guys, plenty of fish at jumping. Come back down this way, down the Broadwater. Went whiting fishing on. I go fishing every day. It was on
That's Tuesday
night, was it? Yeah, Tuesday night. Took my lovely wife and my son Liam and his girlfriend up there, and they were on. We got there late. We got there about 8 o'clock by the time we got to work and that up there. Then caught some beach worms on Sunday afternoon. Kept them live for a couple of days. Zoomed up there. And I wanted to try something different. We got these new rigs in from Shinto. These ones here, Stu. Yeah. And I rigged up 2 different styles. The one comes rigged up with a swivel and fluorocarbon leader, and then this dress took like so. And I was using beach worms, and I had one rigged up like that, or 2 actually like that. I had 2 rigged up with a double hook rig. Now, I never used a double hook rig in the river ever. I might use it in the surf occasionally to try and pretend I'm a Victorian style.
Yeah.
But I rigged up with a little size 1 ounce egg sinker on it.
Yeah.
And I put 2 lots of worm on those little circle hooks. And then I had just a normal rod, and I caught the same amount of fish on everything. So I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, to catch it on those dressed hooks. And the ones I know were suicidal. They're always down the throat, so they went hard.
Yeah.
So
a bit harder on the dress stuff.
I believe so, yeah, that's right. And I caught them on the dog ones. I never got 2 at a time at once, but I got lots of one also.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the other bait was gone, so maybe they bite at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely lots of whiting at the Narang River is what I'm getting at. So that was at night time around the council chambers. We got there on the high tides, so I'd probably bite on the run up, I guess.
Yeah.
And as soon as it started running out, they just come on, like they did 2 weeks ago. They get in during the day a bit further up the river, so anywhere from, we call it Campbell Street, which is at Sorrento, and so west of Bundle Bridge, more or less. So it's called Sorrento Strait, is what we call it.
Yep.
So along there, daytime is really good fishing, and also up Carrara. So once you go up Carrara, from the east end of Carrara Strait all the way up to near the bridge, which is Ross Street Bridge.
Yes.
Also good fishing during the daytime. So that's the area of fish during the day. But don't go west of Ross Street Bridge. There's not much up there.
Yeah.
Lots of catfish.
Yep.
So lots of whiting around during the day if you're daytime fishing. If you're land-based, try the end of Campbell Street. Right at the end there, you want a big sinker, 5-ball sinker, and cast. There's a park there, and cast out into the middle of the rivers, but make sure no boat runs over your line. But early morning, late afternoon, and particularly run up tide, you'll catch them there, which it is at the moment. So it's low tide just before dark, and just early morning, and fish that run up tide. Get yourself some beach worms or bloodworms. Yep, we got good. I tried. That's the thing I tried the other day too. I use them anyhow, but I wanted to compare. So I had live beach worms, and I had
Like the ones that we got in the shop.
the ones that is reserve ones.
Cured beach worms. Yeah.
Same, and I actually used the preserve ones on the
rigs.
on the 2-hook rig because they work easy to put on because they're not live, and the circle hooks are quite hard to put one on.
Yeah.
And I caught the same amount of fish, so easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So that's it. What I'm done.
Yeah.
There's a few at the back of wave break too, but in live yabbies at the back of wave break, no sinker. Fish very shallow water and rising tide again. This weekend's perfect tides for it.
It is.
Yep.
Yep.
Only those banks in the middle of Broadwater out from Aqua. If you're land based, definitely try from Chara Seafood all the way up to Bigger Creek or Baby Harbour.
Yep.
That foreshore there, and down probably Runaway Bay from Howard Street boat ramp all the way down to past Sovereign.
Yep. Yeah.
Off the shoreline if you're land based.
It's amazing how they just turn on like in a couple of weeks.
Like that.
We flathead fish a lot over shallow banks, and you don't see many whiting until
we did
like
yesterday.
Yeah,
big
they're
ones
just
too.
everywhere. They're
Everywhere,
flashing around, feeding and stuff. So it's just like they've rocked up overnight, but they kind of everything has. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So the water's nice and clear at the moment, so it's not too bad.
Yep.
So yeah, give that a go. So plenty of whiting around. On the surf, I definitely try for whiting on the surf too. I reckon I'll be in the surf.
Yep.
The surf's quite flat. When I got worms the other day, it was a very flat beach with not many good holes in it. So it's more of probably a low tide fishing spot at the moment. So that'll be early morning, late afternoon.
Yep.
Which is the right time to fish anyhow. So give that a go this weekend if you're going to take some dart or whiting off the surf.
Yep.
And there's plenty of worms down there. There's heaps of worms. And yeah, give that a crack.
Yep.
And tailor wise, I guess they're going to be on the beach as well, Stuart. They're in the Broad, they're going to be on the beach.
Yeah.
And Stratty's probably going to be worth a crack as well, up towards the bar in the town as well. A few Jewies in the Seaway this week. I saw Lee got a couple last week.
Yep.
In the Seaway, good size, like 1.8 or something. Quite good size Jew. And there's been a few up jumping here as well.
Yep.
Yeah. A few bycatch around too. A lot of trevally, cod, Jewies.
Yep.
We've been getting all of it.
Yeah, a bit of everything.
Yeah, and in shallow water too.
Yep.
Yeah, so plenty of fish around. Stu, anything else you want to add on to the Broadwater end of town, mate?
I don't think so. Dougie's still a couple of squid around.
Yeah, a squid. Yeah, there are. Yeah, just
on that high tide. So you got a high tide reasonably early.
Oh, lunchtime.
Probably be about
mid-morning.
Mid-morning.
Yeah, mid-morning. Yeah. Give that a go. They're good as well. And with the squid, it has to be high tide in the first hour of the run out.
Yep.
And up the freshwater scene, there's still bass around. You obviously had to fish below the weirs now.
Yep.
I had a gentleman today who's getting a few bass in the Coomera, I think it was.
Yep.
But on the upside of the weir.
Yeah. Like on the fresh side.
Freshwater side, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
They'll be around Rabina, and in the lakes are in Rabina, and the creeks are in Rabina, and probably at the back of Nerang, I'd try. There's a couple of places there. I can't remember the name of the area. Yeah, it's up that way now. There's the back area. I think it's near the quarry or something or other. Can't remember. Anyhow, there's a bit of a pond there in the river that opens up a bit. You see it on Google Earth. It's right behind the house. There's a park there as well.
Yep.
And we used to fish there years ago. It's a great spot for catching wild river bass.
Yep.
And they're quite good size too. Late afternoon, early morning, and I'll be using probably spinner baits once the sun gets up a bit. But before that, little walkers.
Yep.
Yeah, be good little cicadas and stuff like that.
Yep.
Give that a go. Yeah. Okay, that's about it, Stu. So. We got a whiting seminar on tonight as well, which you can watch on our YouTube page probably next couple of days.
Yep.
And Stu, you're doing a talk at the Sportfish Club on. He won
Apparently so, mate. Apparently so.
Won the Top Gun Flattier thing as well. Stu's on fire. So you're hearing it. Anyhow, well done, Stu.
Pre-fish champion, mate.
Well,
I'm about to choke. Yesterday's hero, mate. You're only as good as your last trip.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's terrible for
Judging
me.
by me, I'm pretty bloody good at the moment.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever, Stu.
But,
give it a crack,
yeah,
mate.
no, look, at the end of the day, heaps of flatties around, and yeah.
Yep. I've got Flathead Classic in 2 weeks' time. If you think about giving it a crack, then I'd probably look more into it.
Yeah.
And come along tonight up to the Sportfish Club. It's Thursday night. This is the 14th of September.
Yep.
If you do get this in time, it starts about 6:30, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. And if not, just jump on the Sportfish Club, Gold Coast Sportfish Club, Fishing Club. Yeah, Fishing Club.
Yeah.
Page on their Facebook. And you can see all about the Flathead Classic on there. Actually, Flathead Classic has its own page, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jump on there and have a look. Tell you all about it. Great prizes, great time.
Yeah.
And 3 days of fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Get out there this weekend. It's great weather. Really want to see you guys. I'll send you photos through and see you went. Don't forget to tell your friends about our YouTube page and our Facebook page and our Instagram page. And you can follow and learn heaps there. Okay, we'll see you next week. Take care and be safe out there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
Stuart.
Thanks, mate.